Tommy Christopher's on the line with us. He's a media correspondent, White House reporter for Mediaite.com, Mediaite.com, and his Twitter, Tommy Xtifer, at Tommy Xtifer. Hey, Tommy, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks, Tom. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good. Our question is
I'm sorry. I couldn't help overhearing your thing about the dog food. I don't understand what your problem is. I mean, isn't that going to create lots of jobs in the dog food industry, this increased demand for the dog food? Why do you hate America?
Right. Well said, Tommy. Well said. Okay, our question for the day. Is our legal system being eroded with Murdoch-style sensationalized infotainment? I mean, this trial's been going on for, what, a year?
It seems like forever, yeah. It's really heated up in the past couple of months, though, yeah. And like you, I wasn't paying that close attention to it because, my website's founder, Dan Abrams, has kind of been all over it anyway, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, what struck me was, first of all, how quickly they returned their verdict, the jury, which is why I tuned in the first place. And then to see the utter apoplexy from people, the reaction to this verdict is just stunning.
In the media, the media bloviators, the media commentators, the media lawyers, we have elevated to some kind of diva status pretty much anybody who has a JD after that, anybody who's a lawyer who's in the media. And, it's as if we, their opinions are the opinion and the media is telling us how we should think. And there had been a pretty broad consensus, I think, across the media that this young woman was guilty and that she was going to get nailed and that she might even get the death penalty. And when it didn't happen, after these people basically staking their careers and reputations on it, they were angry.
Yeah, it's been strange. And one of the things I thought was really weird was apparently Geraldo Rivera was on the TV calling her a slut about a week ago. And then yesterday...
Literally? Literally using that word?
Yeah. And then yesterday he's arguing with somebody arguing that she's a good mother. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah, the media is kind of going crazy over this. And I think that the problem is, again, I didn't follow the case that closely. She could be guilty, but the fact is the prosecution appears not to approve that case. And it's like you said, that the people have a really skewed vision of our justice system and what presumption of innocence means.
Tommy, it is not the case any longer, I understand, because I've talked about it on the radio a few times, and I've had Canadians call in and tell me this. But back years ago, when I was doing news back in the 70s in Michigan, and the next, our contiguous states were Ohio, Indiana, a little bit of Illinois, and Canada, right? And CKLW threw a big signal out of Windsor, and as I recall. And, we would get some Canadian media in Michigan. And my understanding was that in Canada in the 70s and 80s and maybe even the 90s, that the media had this kind of self-policing standard. I'm not sure it was ever in law, that when an arrest happened, the name of the person arrested, just like the name of the victim, was not revealed until after the trial, and only then if the person was convicted. So what it did was it prevented this whole try the person in the media syndrome that we have in the United States. Are you familiar with that Canadian policy or how that might play out in other countries? And whether you are or not, what are your thoughts on how the media in the United States might want to consider comporting themselves in the future? This is two trials in a row now.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a half-remembered dream or what, but I seem to remember when I was younger that there was a lot more of that kind of caution as well.
In the United States?
Yeah, even here, about protecting the presumption of innocence. I think that it's not. I don't think the problem is the media presenting facts. The thing that news consumers have to understand is that there are facts that a journalist can present that will never make it into court, and that doesn't make necessarily the journalist irresponsible or wrong. It's just a different burden. But where the media falls down is in explaining that difference and explaining, what are usually very good reasons why, like prior bad acts and things like that, you can talk about in a news story, but you can't talk about in court. I think that's where they. I mean, obviously,
which
the weakness of our media.
Yeah, well, and also it raises the third issue of if, for example, a person's prior behavior is inadmissible in court because our legal system says you have to look at the individual crime in and of itself, and that person's prior behavior is widely publicized in the media, how are you going to get an impartial jury?
Well, yeah, that certainly can make it rough. But I think that there are people who still don't have cable.
Well, yeah. What are you going to have juries that are made up of nothing but 80-year-old librarians who never learned how, who just never warmed up to the idea of television, maybe not even radio?
Yeah, get a group of 12 of your Amish peers.
There you go. Yeah. So the Amish, this could be a new outsourcing opportunity for the Amish communities. Outsource themselves as impartial juries.
As an armchair legal scholar, I agree with you. But as a journalist, that's not our problem. It's not our it's not our job to help lawyers pick a jury.
You're right.
So I don't think there's anything wrong with reporting things. And I'm not saying the media has been always been responsible, but I think people are confused. I think that's why people are confused. They see all this stuff about Casey Anthony that the media presented that the jury didn't get to see, and that's why there's this disparity between what we think and what the jurors think. And I wish the media would go a little deeper and explain that.
Right.
But yeah, and I'm sure there's been plenty of irresponsible stuff too. But
yeah. Well, that difference and that understanding of our legal system, and frankly, how our legal system has changed over the years. That's a whole other topic that we'll have to talk about another time. How it used to be that police knock on your door and you could say go away. Now they'll kick in the door.
Yeah.
Tommy Christopher, Mediaite.com, the website, at Tommy Extifer on Twitter. Tommy, thanks for dropping by.
Thanks for having me, Tom.
Always good talking with you. Always interesting. Learn something every time. 15 minutes past the hour.